Well, I found something out about, pardon me, the 42. Turns out we have a water pump issue. So we're going to change out the water pump today. First step, see if I can do this without knocking the camera over. First step is to loosen the bolt here. That provides tension on the belt via the generator. Just gonna snug that down so it doesn't fall when I pull the fan belt off. There we go. There she is. Fan belt removed. Big difficult part now is, oh yeah, I forgot about that. I can get the water pump out, and I'm pretty sure I can get it out without taking the fan off, but let's see if you guys can see this wiggle. Look right at the back of the pulley in comparison to the fan belt housing. The bearing is shot, so that has to come out. Oh, I have to drain the coolant. Be right back. All right. So there's a drain caulk there in front of the radiator, and I replaced the fitting a long time ago, and so it still works without problems. One thing you don't want to do with coolant is let it hit the ground, because if it creates a puddle, animals are attracted to the scent of the glycol, the ethylene glycol. And if you've ever seen a video or actually had a cat, cats are most attracted to it. Dogs, yeah, but not so much. But cats really love the smell of the ethylene glycol, and when they drink it, of course, goes through the normal system, but when the kidneys process the ethylene glycol to be expelled from the body, the ethylene glycol crystallizes in the cat's kidneys, and it's an awful experience to watch. Our neighbor had a cat, and he left the ethylene, the coolant in a pan, and his cat drank some, and I found it, and it was wobbling all over the place, and it didn't know what was going on. It was awful. So just going to capture as much of that coolant as I can so that it's below the level of the water pump. And I changed the coolant about a year ago, last winter I think, and it's still good, so I don't want to discard it just yet. So let's not poison our furry friends while having fun with our hobbies. So I'm going to get instead of a wrench, I'm going to get a socket, so I'll be back. Alright, so I have a 9/16 inch socket here. Oh, wow. When I was originally putting this project together, the water pump seemed fine. But it's been 11 years, and even though the engine itself doesn't have that many miles on it, I'd say about 2,600 miles, the water pump went bad. Okay, I gotta move the camera. So, gotta shut it off. Be right back. Alright, so all the bolts are loose, or out. I'm gonna break the gasket and attempt to take this thing out in one piece. Oh boy. Glad that catch pan was under there. I caught a lot more coolant. Let's have a look at this water pump. See if you can hear that. That's bad. That bearing's bad. Glad I caught it when I did. So, time to pull the fan and clean up the front end of the engine, and I'll be right back. Those are in there pretty good. I don't know if I'll be able to get them out. We're on number 1 for power. Let's try number 3. I think that battery's dead. Be right back. Let's try that. Nope. I wanted to take a look at the bearing in there, but those screws are in there, and I don't have a hammer-powered impact screwdriver. Wow, that was too loose. So I need a new lock washer there. Oh. I think I should have taken that out before I pulled the pump. I gotta get a different wrench. Be right back. Well, the gods of maintenance are smiling on me today. Here's the new water pump. Let's listen to this. And now the new one. There's a guy up in Alaska. His YouTube channel is Backyard Alaskan, and months ago he had a difficulty because I think he has a 270 in one of his Chevys too, and he had trouble finding a water pump. Well, I won't say that. He had trouble acquiring one because they are hard to find now, and when you go to find a new rebuilt pump like I did, this brand new one was $371. You know, tax and shipping, that's a lot of money. So he had found one somewhere, and I don't have a spare on the shelf, so this one's going to go down to let me get my phone out. Talked to the guy this morning, and I need to have a spare. Hardcore Rebuilder. Their phone number there is 541-259-4278. They're in Albany, Oregon, and that's where I got the carburetor for the 41. So, as I was saying a moment ago, the gods of maintenance smiled. Look what I found in my... Well, I had to go make a run to the hardware store. See if I can get this to focus. 5/16 National Fine Thread. 24. 5/16 24. The other water pump was a replacement, and it had 4 holes in the pulley. For either or. Sorry, 8 holes for either or. 1/4 National Coarse Thread, or 5/16 24 National Fine. And I am out of 5/16 24 National Fine Thread bolts. So that was slightly irritating. Okay. But that is not. So, no big deal. Just one of them little setbacks. Now I got to clean the front of the engine. So I checked these screws. They're super loose. They were just inserted in there. Now, one thing you got to do is check. If I'd have put that together, it would have been okay for a while, but then it would have leaked. And I don't want to go through that again, taking everything apart. So I'm going to use some Forma Gasket Aviation gasket maker. To help hold this gasket in place. Now, I checked this because of experience. I remember I put one on a long time ago, couldn't figure out why it leaked, took it off, had to make a new gasket between the engine block and the water pump, put it back on, it still leaked, took it off. I don't know, I did that maybe 2 or 3 times, and then while I was looking at it I thought, I wonder if those 2 screws are loose. Just like the ones in my head, yes, they were loose. So, I'll be right back. All right. Look what fell out all by itself. Dang it. Oh, this is going to get irritating very quickly. I guess there's a something or other in the pulley somewhere. No problem. All right. So these screws require a number 3 Phillips. Use a number 2 on them, you'll strip the screw head. And I have my impact set number 2 power. That's it. So I cleaned the block. Things are looking good. Just scraped the old gasket off with a scraper. Here's the new gasket, but I only have one. I like spares, so I went and bought this gasket set, and I'll trace out a new gasket. There's a spare. Just put that away for future use. That is that, as they say. Okay. All right, here we go. Yeah. All right. There we go. There. Okay, so that one started. Now I haven't made these bolts tight yet. I'm going to get them all installed first. I remember when I did this 14 years ago. Just a moment. I used grade 8 bolts. This bolt that I'm installing now goes through the water pump, through the front of the block, and into the water jacket. And I used a grade 8 bolt because I wanted to be able to, I wanted to ensure that I could get it out when I needed to. I did use sealant, that aviation gasket maker, in between the front of the engine and the back of the gasket. So we're getting down to the home stretch here. Need to go tighten these 2 bolts here. That's pretty good. Okay. Now, the hose from the bottom of the radiator can go back on. And that's the inlet to the engine. Okay, success so far. Fan belt. There's barely enough room between the fan and the back of the radiator to get this fan belt on here. It's pretty funny. That's what happens when you want a GM 270 in a truck that's supposed to have a 235. So, alright, I gotta come back around. That's great. Sorry about that. Let me try to do that again without sending you guys for a ride. Okay. Oh, this one didn't like that at all. All right, I'm gonna have to stop the video. And we're back. That certainly didn't like that. Threw a lot of stuff out of alignment. There we go. Good. That took all of 50 seconds. So I have to put all of the coolant back into a bottle and then back into the radiator, and we'll fire the old girl up. Be right back. All right. Let's see what happens. I've had the battery on the charge for a little while. Don't see any leaks. Oh. Just one moment, please. That hurt my knuckle. Had to turn the fuel on. Here we go. How's that for a cold start? I haven't started this thing in a couple of weeks. Uh-oh. Give her a little bit more incentive. Okay, I need to make very serious adjustment. And that involves the generator placement. So I can't do this. I'll knock the camera out of the way. Be right back. All right. It's about 45 minutes later. the problem I noticed is that the pulley on the generator was too far forward. Not the pulley, the whole generator was too far forward. So I had to pull it, modify the mount, and put it back in. This edge of the belt was riding way up high on the pulley, and nothing causes bearing wear faster than a misaligned set of pulleys. So I got that fixed. I'm probably gonna have to make another mount soon, but let's see what happens. I don't know if you heard that car go by, but it's only the end of November. Sorry, middle of November. And that idiot has his snow tires on, the studded snow tires. We're not going to get snow around here until the beginning of February. Here we go. Look down in there. Yeah. That belt's running a lot better than it was. So between the generator and the water pump was 378, and the generator was, wow, I think it was about the same price. I don't want to do this again for at least another 5 or 6 years, maybe. Not even that. I don't want to do it again, period. But such is the hobby, such as preventive maintenance, and I'm happy. Now I don't have to worry about the water pump going through that hand-built radiator. Sticking my arm down in there to get it chewed up by the fan, so I'm gonna grab it, put it back on the radiator, and call this video finished. Hope you guys have a nice weekend. Thanks for watching my video. Bye.